is gone. Trump 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 is gone. I don't need no other words to this song. But Trump is gone. Trump is gone. Oh, yes, he is. Trump is gone. 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 I don't need no other words to this song. But Trump is gone. Trump is gone. One more thing I'm gonna tell you. Come on, Sean. Pence is gone. Pence is gone. Yes, he is. Pence is gone. Pence is gone. Oh, Pence is gone. Pence is gone. Pence is gone. Pence is gone. Sanction. I don't need no other words to this song. Go on now. Pence is gone. Pence is gone. Hey, Pence is gone. Pence is gone. Oh, Pence is gone. 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 I don't need no words to the song. No, 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 no. 'Cause Pence is gone. Pence is gone. Now we'll have our announcement. I bring you greetings from the White House. Say a word, Tommy. Say a word. Tell Paula White Trump is gone. Right? Tell Bob Johnson. Oh, Trump is gone. Somebody tell Kanye. Oh, that Trump is gone. Tell Diamond and Silk that Trump is gone. Yes, he is. Tell Ben Carson Trump is gone. Let's go. Come on here. Wayne. Watch your voice, Doc. Trump is gone. Yes, he is. Oh, Trump is gone. Trump is gone. Yeah, way bye-bye. Trump is gone. Trump is gone. Trump is gone. Hasta luego. Yeah. Trump is gone. I don't need no other word in this song. The Trump is gone. Trump is gone. Tell Donald Trump to go. Trump is gone. Him and his toothpaste, tell him bye-bye. Trump is gone. Trump is gone. Trump is gone. Somebody go ahead and peel that orange up out the door. Trump is gone. We don't want to see him no more. Trump is gone. Said I don't need no other word in this song. But Trump is gone. Ain't no lie. Is gone. Bye, bye, bye. Yeah, make way for Biden. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh, everybody. I hope you are having a good day. It doesn't matter where you are. The temperature's right because it's all minus 45. I want to give a shout out to Brother Jawad sent that to me. The temperature is minus 45. And anytime you see that many black people singing the same lyric with smiles on their faces and nobody's passed away, nobody's dressed in black, it means that Trump is gone. Did you see how many people are going to be out of work because of this fool? Because he's gone? Because the lies can't subsist without the man who makes them. And nobody lies like Trump. I'm a little upset, brothers and sisters. I did want to see him have to take an Uber away from the White House. Instead of Air Force One, I won't lie, I wanted him to have to fly Spirit back to Florida and have to go through every state he contested the election results. So I wanted him to have to go to Wisconsin, Michigan, Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, and then connect on into Florida. But my point is, brothers and sisters, the man's gone. So for this show, if at all possible, I would like to spend some time um, talking about the positive aspects of his relationship with the United States as president and the negative aspects of his relationship as president of the United States. So before I get into that, please let me get into my housekeeping. We got a lot of stars in the building here today. Trump is gone. Yes, indeed. Um, Brothers and sisters, if it's your first time coming on the show, because we had some first time people come on the show yesterday, and I thanked them. If it's your first time coming on the show, listen, chill out, relax. You're amongst friends, you're amongst family. What am I saying is the Shadow Show is not my show. It's a platform. It's a platform of all of us. See, the Shadow Show is based upon the people who contribute, not the people who come here to have a laugh. We all do that. We enjoy each other's company. But if you're gonna be on the Shadow Show, don't sit in the back. Don't be quiet. When you're in that comment section, you better signify and tell us that you're there. And then when I say signify, I mean just say, hey, hello to the crew. Wish them a good day, things like that. And they'll wish it back to you. I'm telling you, this is an eclectic, special group of people. And as well, if you don't mind, hit the subscription button, notify button, like button, all that type of stuff. The other thing is, when you're in the comment section, I'm going to shout you out. That is the whole concept of the shout out show. The shout out is acknowledging people. The shout out is acknowledging people's actions, their attitudes, and their ideas. And if you're there, and I see some people who aren't in the comment section, get on in the comment section and stop playing. Because, see, you waste your time. You could have been one of the stars in the building. Because every show, I like to go through, and I like to go through all my stars in the building. I'm going to do it as much as I can. So, we're going to start out with Sister Reed. Sister Reed's still out there in Kalamazoo, Michigan, taking care of Auntie, taking care of Big Sis. We hope Sis is doing well. Make sure that you get that information from that cardiologist and make sure it's straight. You don't want conflicting information, Reed. So be very, very astute with that cardiologist, okay? All right. And give Auntie a big hug. As well, we have our consultant producer, Satana Whitfield, who's always ready at the gears, ready at the remote controls to make this thing go. She keeps the train on the tracks, and we appreciate that. And Sister Satana, I keep telling you guys, she's just starting waiting. You're going to turn on one day, and I'm not going to be here. It's going to be Sister Satana running the Shout-Out Show. And I'm not afraid to say she'll probably run it better than I do. We got Sister Ika coming all the way over from Indonesia. Special prayers out to Indonesia. They had a couple of earthquakes out there, and as well, they had a major plane crash out there. I haven't really been following it as I should, but what I do is I make dua that the people, the families that are affected, the people who are affected, who are suffering, who are homeless, lost their homes, livelihoods, I pray that Allah give you shifa and relief and compassion. All right. So, what else we got here? Oh, thank you, Rhea. I'm glad you liked the intro. We got my main man, little brother, Johnny L. Thomas. Wa alaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is my main man right here. I hope you guys like that intro. I thought about not playing it. I was like, I'm just going to play the whole thing. You know why? Because it was funny. It was funny, and I'm going to talk about that. Because Trump leaving, I don't want people to feel like I'm gloating. And I don't think that people are gloating. I think it's an honest, we are glad to see that person just away from any pedals or levers of power, because now things just kind of come back. You start remembering what the United States used to be. Remember, we used to complain about everything. We complained about Obama. We complained about Bush. After 4 years of Trump, nobody has anything to complain about. We're like, we're sorry. I called up George Bush today. He didn't pick up the phone. I'm like, hey, GW, I'm sorry I called you all them names, man, but I appreciate you. All right. Trump is gone. That's right. We're going to have to play that again. I'm going to show you who is, we had a sponsor for Trump is gone. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to have to shout out our sponsor, Altaf. Brother, I hope you like that Trump is gone video, man. Altaf comes all the way from Toronto every day. Round trip he comes from Toronto to here and back to Toronto. And I'm here to tell you the brother is an awesome fella, man. He comes here, he dedicates his time, he shares information with us. And overall, it's nice to be able to say and tell people that you appreciate them. That you appreciate them. I like when people say things that aren't in crisis. I like to say things where there's no pressure. When you say it to somebody, give a compliment, you like the feeling that when they receive it, they know that to them it was unexpected. So we got to get back to that because we just had 4 years of not talking about things unexpected. We ain't know what to expect, or we have bad expectations. And we have yes, we have Sister Rabina. You do not like that man, do you? It's almost like you live in the United States. Bye bye, Mr. American Pie. Yeah, I'm glad he's gone, brother, sister. I'm glad he's gone, and you know, I hope he gets where he gets, and he hadn't paid his rent, and they don't let him in. That actually is a reality. He might not be able to stay down in Mar-a-Lago. I don't know if you guys know that. That's a club. Ironically, it's not a place for him to have permanent residence. I guess he bent the rules as president, but it's a club. He can stay like 30 days. So I'm wondering how that's going to play out because he's trying to hide out from the New York district attorney because that boy's going to jail. That's going to be a remix of the song. Gone to jail. Trump is gone. Gone to jail. Yes, he is. Gone to jail. Pick up the soul. Gone to jail. So that's going to be the new remix. I'm going to talk to the nephew Tommy about making that song. Going to jail. Sister Sultana, you were here. Where's my greeting, sister? Where's my greeting? Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh. You know I gotta get a blessing from you. Come on, New Jersey. You live in New Jersey. You from New York. You know the cost of currency is wishing people blessings in this space. Now I want you to go out and come back in and give a blessing. Sister Sultana, I'm talking to you. I want you to go out, go in, come back with my salam and my salam for everybody. Because I'm gonna give you your salam. I want a blessing from you. You know why? Because you got a good spirit, just like everybody else. Any Americans concerned with the "see you soon" comment? I really wasn't. Because a lot of folks were like, "Yeah, okay, that ain't gonna happen." I know he's thinking he can come back, but nah, I'm sorry, dude. Trump is like the annoying uncle who gets drunk at the picnic and he just won't shut up and he just won't fall down. That's him. But he's gonna have some help, brothers and sisters. He's gonna have some help. So that's gonna be interesting. Well, he's allowed to stay 30 days, Sister Sultana. He's allowed to stay 30 days, and then he's got to get out. And I just want to see him when they put him out. You do not want him in the UK. Scotland has stipulated he cannot hide out in Scotland. Yeah, you know how it is. I mean, dude, everybody wants a piece of you, brother. Everybody wants a piece. It's like when Al Capone went to prison. I don't know if y'all know what happened to Al Capone, but it wasn't a good experience for Al Capone. But what you're going to see is a proliferation of people who are going to move away from Trump because it's toxic. It's like career poison. It's like social poison. And that's going to be the fun part. Mitch McConnell is doing it. William Flintstone Barr is doing it. He's talking about, his Trump's actions. He didn't say it specifically. He's saying that the comments incited the riot. But I'm loving it, though. Here it is. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi barakatuh. Thank you, Sister Sultana. I appreciate you. See how it is, man. When you're talking about good things to good people, you make a suggestion, people just pick it up. It wasn't even for me. It was just for all of us. Thank you so much, Sister Sultana. I appreciate you. Let's see. A drunk man's words or a sober man's thoughts. Yeah. I never thought of it like that, Sister. I never thought of it like that, Sister Rabina. I haven't been drunk in a long time, but I can see your point, though. I can see your point. So, I want all of us on the show today and people who are watching our audience, I just want all of us to inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Just do it one more time with me. I have been waiting to do that for such a long time, brothers and sisters. I've been waiting to do that since he announced he was going to be he was going to run for the presidency. And I looked at the field, and the field of Republicans didn't know what to do with him. So I'm like, you know what? The field of Democrats is definitely not going to know what to do with him. And admittedly, we put up a weak candidate. That's not the point. The point is the allowance of this guy allowed him really, what he had done in business, what he had done in society. He had lied to people, and America, at some point in time, has to get up off his stuff and own up to the fact that as many things that we talk about, freedom, justice, and liberty, we lie about it. Freedom, justice, and liberty, not for everybody, but we lie about it. And you hope people assume it's for everybody, but it is not. And here's a situation when it came back to bite America in his proverbial backside. And this is not for me to dump on America. And the reason I don't dump on America, because America has good people. America has very good people. Human beings have the capacity to be good, bad, excellent, lousy, everything in between. But it's about conditionings. It's about conditions, scenarios, and intentions. And I talk about this all the time. But the idea that I want to emphasize here is there's always the ability to change. There's always the ability to make it better. And all I have to say is, for the last 4 years, I watched the man. Every time I watched him, I was like, he ain't going to make it better. And that maybe was my thing. He's not going to make it better. To the point where children will watch, and I mean young children will watch, and they would get these feelings of toxicity of dealing with this man at very young ages. Knowing that the guy had no clue. Knowing that the guy, listen, there's a saying in prison, when you're a liar or you don't know what you're talking about. There's a saying that says, man, don't listen to that dude. They say, he's sitting on the TV watching the sofa. That guy did it for 4 years. And what's it say? It means like, darn near anybody can be president. But here's the other thing. It's not that he could be president. He's gone now. What you're going to do is you're going to find people who are kind of trying to expand this argument about this man. And now that he's here, this is the dangerous part. They have no leader. Y'all know if you cut a chicken's head off, you know what the rest of the chicken is going to do. Well, it's going to be the same thing in this scenario. So you're going to have this vying for who's going to represent America after Trump is gone. Who's going to represent the people? It always kills when people go, it's the people, and it's just them people. Let me throw this up here. The financial of QAnon has also resigned. All the rats are jumping ship. Yeah. Richard Pryor had a great bit on his album, his 1976 album. That crazy. I got to show this from Doug. Right? There's a saying in prison: "You gonna eat that, Mr. President?" Yeah. That's like from Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. I want your cornbread, Donald. Whatever you do when you go to prison, do not stand anywhere near cornbread. Okay. So my point here is, you have a situation. Richard Pryor tells this joke that he was hanging out with a guy named Matt. He said he wanted to be in a gang, and he was hanging out with a guy named Matt, and Matt was bad. He was knocking cats out. Then he ran into another dude. He said he knocked people through a brick wall, and he beat up Matt. And Richard Pryor was standing there. He goes, "What you got to do with it?" Richard Pryor goes, "I was just here with my friend Matt." That is what the rest of this resistance is. It's interesting to have a resistance that can't really resist. Let me explain what I just said. A resistance that can't resist. The thing about Donald Trump, and I've said this before, is much the same as all the dictators. Even Satan. I give Satan a break when I'm comparing it to Trump. Because even Satan acknowledges I'm working, but I have a boss. Satan goes, I'm allowed to do this thing because I have an agreement with God that I can do this. Trump had no agreement. He had no agreement. He was just working on his own. He was solo. But here's the thing I want you guys to look at. What worries me in a really, really public way is that he created a culture. Listen to me. He created a culture that represented some of his worst traits. Some of the traits that we overlook. He created a culture that's addictive. Hear what I'm saying? They are addictive personalities, which is a very difficult and dangerous thing because an addictive personality will attach themselves to anything and ride it to death. A bad strategy, ride it to death. A lie, ride it to death. And throughout history, we've had situations, scenarios of people, if you will, who had addictive personalities. And those addictive personalities were extremely destructive. Extremely destructive. Because they never want to be wrong. Now, I have to admit something. You know, first of all, I want to spend time on things that Trump did right while he was in office. Okay, I'm done. Um, that was quick. I went longer than I thought it would. He did do some aspect of prison reform. Here's the funny part. When I talk to dudes in prison, they like Trump. A lot of guys in prison like Trump because of prison reform. And I was like, well, I think you would like prison reform because you in prison. But he did do a few things, but again, when somebody does something good, if you turn around and do something horrible, it just doesn't balance out. I wanted to believe that there's goodness, man, and I'm like, well, maybe the way he treats his family or his wife or his kids, or whatever, maybe that balances out. Allah knows best. Allah knows best. But I have to say something that did crack me up. Let me ask everybody in the room here. We got Doug. Doug said the comb over is addictive. Yes, indeed. Doug, Rabina, JT, uh, my mom, I'm Maxine, Altaf, Reed, JT, Ika, Sultana, Sister Sultana Ali. Did any of y'all get a pardon? Did any of you get a pardon? Did anybody? Everybody and their mama got a pardon. I'm like, man, everybody and their mama got a pardon. I mean, I love to see a black man get out of jail, but I'm like, damn, dude, you supposed to be there a little bit of while. That's what I felt. I understand the part. I mean, people getting out of jail. I forgot who had been locked up. Kwame Kilpatrick got out of jail. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, he had 20 years, 28 years and got out. I'm like, dude, you know what? Between giving concessions and pardons, I'm like, a lot has changed in this world. So I'm going to talk to Biden about getting a pardon in advance in case I run into a rough patch. You never know how the economy is going to be. I'm gonna give a shout out for my brother from another mother up in Canada. Also, I don't know if you know Brother Altaf Rashid, but this is my main man Nader Khan, who does amazing stuff. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. An incredible singer, incredible teacher, great dad, great husband. And yes, he paid me to say that. Thank you for coming on the show, brother. I'm glad you found us, man. So you know where we are. Eastern time, 6 o'clock to 6:30. We don't stay on too long. But I hope all is well. Look at you. You got jokes too. Biden Mubarak. Look at Biden Mubarak. What's up? Sister Rabina said, I'm British. We don't get pardoned for anything. Okay. All right. Well, check your DM. He might have given you a pardon because everybody got a pardon. It was to the point where you couldn't even brag like I got a pardon. Like I got a pardon. I'm like, dude, I got a pardon too. It was like breathing. I got a lot of air. So did I. But I'm just saying, this is what are you saying, brother? Did you guys cite the crescent? No, we didn't, man. No, we didn't. And I'm gonna be honest with you, folks. I really, really would just been since the election, it just wasn't enough. Normally, when there's election, there's a normal transfer of power, transition of power. And I sat here just like everybody else was like, he ain't gonna do it. He's not going to do it. He is not going to do it. He reminds me of all the mean sayings. That boy, you 15 cents short of being stupid. That's what I thought. Talking to him, like my granddad said, pardon language. My grandfather said, talking to some people like peeing in a fan. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, granddad. I don't want to go around any fans while he was around, but I'm like, yeah, that's what it felt like. I watched this man going, you know what? People in America are upset at this guy, but understand, he's been dumb a long time. He's worked at being an idiot, brothers and sisters. You have to appreciate that. Brother Eric Carter, wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother. How do you do, sir? Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate you. Everybody, please give a shout out to brother Eric. I think Eric has been on the show before, but I might be mistaken. You know, my memory is not what it used to. I'm going through all kind of stress, brothers and sisters. So thank you for coming on the show, brother Eric, and we appreciate your salams. So, you know, we have a couple minutes. Let's talk about. I don't want to talk about the negative stuff with Trump because that would take a whole 4 years. Let's look forward. I want to look at what Biden's going to do. Biden's already done a whole lot of stuff in terms of reversing a lot of executive orders. Because if you really did, if you really kept count of Trump signed a lot of executive orders, but he didn't really pass a lot of bills. He signed a lot of executive orders. He did a tax cut. He didn't really do bills. So in some regards, outside of the executive orders, you know, there's a certain status quo that I think we need to be so. Okay, all right, brother Eric. Thank you for letting me know. Big time shout out to brother Eric. It's the first time on the show. Thank you, beloved. We appreciate you coming out and hanging out. You are officially, let me tell you officially, anytime you want to, you can come back on the Shout Out Show. You are part of the Shout Out family and the Shout Out Show soldiers. And we just have a good time. We come here. We're here every day. Moving towards 300 episodes, but we're here every day on Eastern Time, 6 o'clock to 6:30. And we appreciate you, brother, and we hope that some of the things we talk about could be a benefit to you. We don't always talk about politics. We're going to have a special Friday Funnies. I'm going deep, brothers and sisters. I'm pulling out some folks you ain't seen before. I'm pulling out some funny people you ain't seen before. And I'm funny, and I'm going to mix it in. We're going to have a good time because we haven't had the official inaugural Friday Funnies. You know, I've been holding in. I got some stuff on Joe. And please, I'm happy that Joe Biden got inaugurated because Joe. I mean, somebody need to put some bricks in Joe's pocket because a good breeze gonna knock that man down. I'm just saying. You know, I'm like, commonly, you better hang close to you, man, because I'll be like, I got you, Joe. You know, but all the jokes I say about Joe Biden, I'm gonna give him this love right here because I do have my issues with Mr. Biden. He came in like a president, not a gangster, not a bully. He came in like a guy who looked around and go, man, we got work to do. And before he said, I'm the guy to do it, I'm the only one could do it, he went around to people and asked them, how are you? Are you okay? In the words of my teacher who taught me compassion, he said, you have to ask people when they're traumatized. You have to ask people when they're traumatized or going through trauma. Teach me how to teach you. Deep. Teach me how to teach you. And if we could do that, brothers and sisters, now that Trump is gone, to expedite this process to kind of get him back to normal. Because even it just feels different. It just feels different. And what it feels like is I don't have somebody in the White House, and you could agree or not agree. It's just nice to have somebody in the White House that you know is not trying to hurt you or trying to hurt people. Because we can say whatever we want to, economics, Reagan, those were policies, but I never felt like those guys really, really, really were trying to hurt you. And with this president, 45, I felt like he was trying to hurt people. And unfortunately, the anxiety that a lot of us dealt with was the fact that he was in a position to do so. A majority had voted him into that position knowing that he was going to do that. And we sat back and had to eat it for years. Even up to this riot at the Capitol. We had to eat it. So what I want to insist is that when these things happen, brothers and sisters, we don't sit back. We don't go, you know what, we're going to wait till another 4 years. Something needs to be in place where we as a community are able to decipher and look at methodology whereby we can blunt negative behavior. We can blunt negative action. We can blunt people who have no good intention except pain and turmoil towards the general masses. Now, I might sound idealistic, but I'm going to tell you something. It happened before. It happened before. Ask the Native Americans. The 3 or 4 that are left. Ask African Americans. You're talking about people who worked in existence that once they were freed, people didn't see the meaning of their existence. They didn't value them as having purposefulness. So, all of us, while we have this break, let's look at our community. Let's look at our brothers and sisters. Let's start having some conversations about being purposeful. Being purposeful. Let me see here. Sister Ali said you should read Surah 45. Yeah. The bowing knee. Yep. I read it. I've read it. I've read it. I love it. That one and Surah Nasr, deep, deep. If you get a chance, I know you guys read Surah Nasr, but just peep it. It's a very small surah, and I mean it's small, but it's powerful. So look at Doug. Comedy at cabinet level position. Yeah, we need something. Like all the kings back in the day, we need like a jester. We need like a court jester. You know what we should do? That's what they should do for Donald Trump. They should hire him as a court jester. And what you do is you let him in front of the Senate and the House. You just let him talk, and he'll start lying, and we just start laughing. We know nothing coming out of his mouth is valid or truthful, and we just start laughing. Have you ever been around a person, brothers and sisters, who is a known liar, and you just sit back and let him lie? And it was fun because you knew the truth, but you just want to know how far this person was going to go. I mean, I come from a tradition of people. They held court on the corner. They were corner store preachers and comedians, but that was different because they were trying to make you laugh. They were trying to make you smile. They were trying to lighten the mood, to bring levity to the situation in the neighborhood, and that's fine. But I'm talking about, we need an official political court jester. And unfortunately, Rudy Giuliani is probably going to go to jail, so we can't count on him. Because Rudy brought me some laughs, brothers and sisters. Rudy brought me some serious laughs. And I'm hoping when he goes to jail that he's just as generous. Just as generous. So listen, I want to introduce one of our sponsors, brothers and sisters. Let me talk about this a little bit, and then I'm gonna close the show. So I want you to go to BeFinanciallyIndependent.com. That's BeFinanciallyIndependent.com. Financial advisor Maxine Cade, who is versed in not only financial advising but also stocks and investments. A lot of what she does is trying to help people establish one or two things. One is financial literacy. Two is programmatic understanding of how you spend money and how you invest and how you also position money. Call that number at the bottom, 1-800-679-3175. That's 1-800-379-3175. She talks about passive and active income. But the one thing that I want you to look at is that she's talking about training. One of the things that's not happening, one of the things that was really apparent when COVID hit and we had a lot of issues with financing the economy, that people weren't able to pivot. It's important. It's very, very important to be able to have money to pivot or information. If you don't have money, you need to have information, intellectual capacity to pivot. Here's what I said. If you don't have money, intellectual capacity means that you understand how you develop pathways to help yourself. So that number again is 1-800-679-3175. I'm saying that she's going to be the sponsor for Friday Funnies. Go to BeFinanciallyIndependent.com. Again, that's Sister Maxine Cade, known as the Harriet Tubman of Financial Independence. Make sure you check that out. And we're going to have her on the show too. So if you don't get to go and check out her website, we're going to have her on the show talking about none other than financial advice and being able to frame it in terms of the economy, the ups, the downs, the consistency. So, give a call. All right, everybody. So, I'm back. So listen, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have been amazing. This was actually a fun show. Sister Rabina, boy, you've had a court judge for 4 years. Why punish yourselves further? I believe that if we're gonna have him, he should be either signed to Hulu or Netflix, and we should all get some money out of it. That's what I'm thinking, sister. We should get some money out of it. Okay, so listen, you guys have been great. I appreciate everybody came in, and again, another shout out to our newest member, Brother Eric. Thank you for coming. Sister Sultana, thank you so much for mentioning that, Surah. Doug commented with a cabinet position. JT, as always, Sister Ike, all the way from Indonesia. Reed, take care of your family. And Aunt Maxine, Kate, and my mom, and like I said, little brother JT, and Sister Sultana, all of you have an amazing day. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow, God willing. Take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hey everybody, this is your brother Preacher Moss. Listen, I hope that you enjoyed your shout out show experience. We'll be back with the next show, the next shout out show. A simple ask before you go, please help your brother out. Click that subscribe button, click that notify button, and I'll see you again on this side of the microphone. You probably wonder what that smell is. That's me. I smell good. And the reason I smell good is because I use oils from Tarif Attar. So I'm not saying you can't smell good. I'm not even saying you stink. I'm saying you have the opportunity to smell exquisite. Check out tarifattar.com for some of the best oils and scents in town.